Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Trader Merlin Show for, I guess we'll say, a special edition of our show today. Normally, we'll talk about all things broad markets, but I ran it by you yesterday. The question of, can we talk about some of the scams? And I get it all the time with regards to cryptocurrency and digital assets. So, spent a bunch of time today kind of putting together a presentation for you, talking about kind of the scams that exist, how to avoid them, and what you can do to protect yourself for anybody who might be getting into cryptocurrency and digital assets, because it's the riskiest asset class that there is. Period. Doesn't matter. You can't convince me otherwise. Riskier than stocks, futures, options, Forex, collateralized debt obligations, swaps, you name it. This is the riskiest of them all. So I'm going to dive right into it. Hopefully you guys ask some questions along the way, engage with me, and make it as fun as possible for today's session. So what spurred this was, number one, a few questions that came in from people regarding different types of scams. And then yesterday there was an article that was released on all the major media outlets, which was Bloomberg, Fox, CNN, all of that, with a release from the FBI that says that $5.6 billion was stolen in crypto-related scams. So just so you know, I'm not making stuff up and pulling numbers out of thin air. Here's your headline. This is at Yahoo Finance through CoinDesk. Investors lost a record high $5.6 billion to crypto scams in 2023, and that's an increase of 45% over 2022. Personally, I think that it's going to be much higher this year. So I was going to go through them kind of in order from the biggest one to the least significant scam, but I'm going to do it backwards today. I'm going to start with kind of the smaller scams just so you can understand what these things are when they face you. As I progress, I will be giving you kind of pointers, words of advice, golden nuggets that maybe help you sidestep some of these scammers and not give them your money, which is very easy to do. Okay. So here's my graphic for today. Unfortunately, I didn't readjust my screen, so it's still a little cut off. Show 978 for the Trader Merlin Show today. Unmasking crypto scams, how to spot them, and how to avoid them. We'll start things off with your first one, which is a pretty basic one. When you look at the world of scammers and what they're trying to do, especially for men, it seems like we're very susceptible to romance. Some beautiful lady talks to us and pulls us in and gets us all worked up. Yeah, that's called a romance scam, and they are one of the most prolific ones out there. What will happen is you'll be on some site typically. This could be Bumble, Tinder, Match, I don't know, whatever dating sites there are nowadays, but on these sites, someone will build a relationship with you, and most of it's going to be long distance, right? You're always just chatting right away. They can hide behind pictures and catfish you. You have no idea who you're dealing with. So what happens is they'll start to build a little bit of a rapport with you. Now, as they build that rapport, they may do one of two things. One is they start to engage you to feel much more sympathetic, because the human condition is that you and I want to help people out. So they'll come up with some distress story and sob story about how they're not doing so well and losing money or need money for like an operation or something. The other one is they will start asking you a lot of personal questions about yourself. So I grabbed some funny graphics. Here's one example of it. This guy's obviously, it says my baby. He's probably never seen her. She's asking he says, oh, you should go outside and take modeling pictures at Shutterstock. She responds, yes, my king. First, I must know many things about you. What's your name of your first pet? What's your mother's maiden name? What's the name of the town you were born in? Look, if you're dumb enough to answer all that to some random stranger, then you deserve to lose your money. But this is just obviously a phishing attempt to get access into your accounts, because on the dark web, this individual may have found this person with an email address. On the dark web, your email is out there. I'm willing to bet that every single person watching this program right now has their email and address and probably phone number available on some dark web database list. If anyone here has a Coinbase account, your name's out there. It's I'm not going to say public knowledge, but it's dark web knowledge that it's out there. So now what they need is they've got your name, they've got your address and phone number, great. Now they need the things to answer your private key messages, like to log in your bank account. Log in, they'll say, what's your mother's maiden name and what was the name of your first pet? And you just gave it to someone else. Don't be that dumb, come on. The next one is what I was just mentioning. I'm going to kind of read through this quickly. basically this girl is establishing a relationship with this guy, and that she's been really nice and sweet and caring, I'm sure, saying everything that he wants to feel to stroke this guy's ego. Says, oh, I feel so embarrassed to ask you, but would you consider lending me some money? I definitely will pay you back with interest as soon as I get back on my feet. Because basically, this individual is saying that they need something for a family member, or they're in financial troubles. Well, could you manage $1,000? Sure. How would I pay it? Cryptocurrencies. Look, this person's just going to take your money and disappear. Don't give any money to anybody. I had a situation years ago where someone that I had met while I was living in Europe, very cool person, all of a sudden I was getting text messages saying, hey, I'm stuck in an Italian prison, and they told me I can only send out a couple messages. I need money for bail. Can you help me out? I was like, well, that's a really weird thing that you could text message from prison and ask for bail money. So I went and contacted my friend directly, realized she wasn't in jail. Someone had hacked her accounts, and there were people that were sending her lots of money to get her out of jail, right? Always go to the source. I guess lesson number one for all this is going to be go up to the source of anything. So, if Big Eb's like, hey, Merlin, I'm in trouble, I need some help, I don't have your phone number, Big Eb, but I would reach out to Big Eb directly and say, hey, what's up, as opposed to responding to a text message or a link, because that way I would at least know your voice. Now, to be fair, nowadays they do have voice impersonation. Somebody is using my voice with AI, trying to get people to send them money. But all of you know that I would never, ever ask you for money, and I would never, ever manage your money. Well, I guess if I got a Series 7 63 and had all the proper licenses, then maybe. It was an idea years ago, but it's just not me. I don't think so. So that's the romance scam. Look, if someone's just all of a sudden too good to be true and schmoopy and all over you and giving you all the affection you want, and they start asking for money, bye-bye, Felicia. Move on. Scam number 2. I'm going to try to roll through these. Big Eb says, my Social Security ended up on the dark web. I think all of ours did, didn't I? I think I read an article or heard something that the SSA, Social Security Administration, got hacked, and all of our Social Security numbers are out there somewhere. That is about as bad as you can get. Thomas says, and you should have pre-made codes with family in advance. That's what happened. Oh, that's smart to have a pre-made code. Like if someone calls you and say, what's our... They always do that in like the Born Identity. That's right. What tree did we first kiss under? Oh, that was the maple tree in Skokie, Illinois. Right? Some kind of thing that is personal and only you are going to know that. A PIN number is not good. All right, so let's talk about the airdrop scam. I'm a fan of airdrops. I will explain quickly for those of you who might be new and not understand what an airdrop is. It's essentially free money. So let's say, for example, I have some Ethereum. And what can happen is a company, in order to get people to look at their project, to get attention, it's guerrilla marketing, they could do what's called an airdrop. So an airdrop is, you and I could create one. So let's say as Trader Merlin, we decide to do an airdrop. And what we'll do is we'll take a snapshot of the Ethereum blockchain, right? It's just, you take a picture of the blockchain, and what you'll do is send to every address that's an active wallet on Ethereum, you'll send something to them. And we'll send the Trader Merlin tokens or an NFT or some item to them. That's an airdrop. Bitcoin Cash, some of you might know Bitcoin Cash. That was a fork where the chain split, and that is technically an airdrop. So if you hold one currency, quite often you can receive something for free, which I'm sure all of you would like. Now what happens is these airdrops, they'll say, yes, if you hold, let's say, Ethereum tokens or Ethereum coins, you'll get airdrop, but it can't be on like Coinbase or Kraken. You have to use this wallet, and they'll call it the XYZ wallet. So you have to download this wallet, you send your 10 Ethereum there, expecting to get a whole bunch in place for it, or a whole bunch of airdrop free stuff. What you didn't realize is the XYZ wallet was created by scammers, and as soon as you send your 10 Ethereum there, it disappears. You got nothing for it, right? That's one of the typical airdrop scams. Now, there's many of them. I get airdrop stuff all the time. And take a peek at this. So I have Ethereum on my Nano Ledger. So this is, let me make sure I don't show anything personal here. Okay. So this is my Nano Ledger. And under my Ethereum account, you guys can see right here, it's hard to read. I can't make the font any bigger. But on August 30th, I received an NFT. August 29th, 22nd, 20th, 17th, I received NFTs. People just drop these in my wallet all the time. And you'll notice off the side over here, this NFT that I received on August 30th is from nukes.fi. So what you do is you'll click on these, right? So you click on these, and what they'll typically do is say, oh, you have to click on this address, right? So you click on nukes.fi, it's going to take me out to their website, and there I may be asked to put in some personal information. Some of them ask for your seed phrase. Come on, man. If I have to say it, you don't need to give anyone your seed phrase, ever. All of these airdrops that you see on this screen here that I have, I'm assuming are 100% scams. I mean, look at, I've got page after page after page of these things. These are all garbage. Now, is there any in here that might be worth something? Yeah, there might. There might actually be something of value here, but I don't have the time to sift through all these scams that are trying to steal my crypto to find the one that's the diamond in the rough. So an airdrop scam is kind of a less popular one, but it does happen. If you're trying to capitalize on airdrops, just be sure you understand how airdrops work. What are the mechanics behind it? And don't put any of your crypto in a wallet or a website that you don't know, because that could just disappear right on the back end. All right, your next one, rug pull. Some of you probably heard this term before. I couldn't come up with a good graphic for this, but I wanted a picture of a rug with some crypto on it. A rug pull is really kind of hard to figure out. So one of the things that I teach in the crypto programs I teach for multiple companies now, the crypto program. One of my favorite parts about it is analysis. I love going through and analyzing a project, breaking it down. What do they do? Who's the team? How are they going to accomplish this? Is there a roadmap of production and how they're going to get to their end goal? Now, just because they have all those elements doesn't mean it's risk-free. But a lot of rug pulls, what they'll do is go back to the Trader Merlin token, right? Let's say I create the Trader Merlin token and I promise everybody that this is going to be worth, $1,000 a coin. Right now it's only worth $1, so you're going to get 1,000x. It's going to be $1,000 a coin, and I'm going to be the largest financial media broadcast show in the world. Well, that actually is in the realm of possibility. I guess if I got the right team, I could maybe do something like that. But what these people do is convince you that their project is amazing. Convince you that's going to be the next Ethereum killer or the next great app utilization. But in order to get those tokens, there's only one way to get them. Only one way to get those Trader Merlin tokens. Trader Merlin sets up a website and they say, okay, you send in 1 Ethereum and we'll give you, 100 Trader Merlin tokens. So people are sending over 20, 40, 50 Ethereum and they pop up with the Trader Merlin tokens, which is worth nothing. And then the project just disappears. They keep all your Ethereum, which actually has value and utility, and they've given you, a token that doesn't do anything and has no value whatsoever. That's a rug pull. The project literally just disappears while you're involved with it. Some of them are planned, right? Some people will build a project knowing they're going to defraud anybody who buys into it. Others, it's called a hard rug pull, is when they purposely deceive you. A soft rug pull is where the project just doesn't succeed. And we're never going to eliminate risk altogether, but research and understanding is your best defense against a rug pull. In crypto, many of you have experienced this. It usually sounds too good to be true. Rates of returns too good to be true. Growth prospects too good to be true. And we all know if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. So just do your research, be vigilant. I tell everybody I like to kind of keep my guard up with everything that I'm jumping into because I assume it's all a scam. And I want to prove that it's not. I feel better and more confident with my crypto portfolio because of that. All right, what's another good one here? Oh yes, the pyramid scam. This one doesn't need too much explanation, but the pyramid scam is pretty easy. It's actually popular in crypto where you become part of an investment group, right? Where you you become part of an investment group, and if you deposit your crypto and get more people behind you to deposit your crypto, you earn on them. So it might look something like this. I took this from BitConnect, where at the top level, if you referred someone to BitConnect, you got 7% of whatever they brought in. So if they brought in, $7,000, well, if they brought in $7 million, you get yourself $1,000, right? So everybody below that, you got a percentage of what they brought in. This is a pyramid scheme, and all these people down below are simply feeding the rates of return to the people up at the top. It's great if you're in like the top 2 or 3 levels of a pyramid. Other than that, you're most likely going to lose everything. So if you find yourself buying into a crypto project that's saying things like, we will reward you more when you bring in your friends and family, you should run away. That is, to me, just the definition of a pyramid scam, is bringing in more people into that project, okay? So now we get to some of the better stuff. And real quick, before I dive into impersonation scams, let me just real quickly read some questions here. Blue Diesel says, got an email from Coinbase to a free concert for people who are pro-crypto to a band I really like. Looked at the bank's website, and they were not even touring around. It's funny how they do that. That's phishing. We're going to get to phishing here in just a second. But yeah, they definitely. I do not have, personally, Margaret, I don't have any identity theft insurance. I don't. I am on top of anything that happens. So I have alerts on all my credit card accounts. Should anything happen, any of the charges, I can also see any changes to my credit report that comes through there. There's always the risk, but no, I don't pay for the insurance. Let's see what else. Josh, hey, good to see you, Josh. I've talked to people every week. I've gotten scammed at 1,000, several. Yeah, exactly, Josh. That's why I decided to do this show. I maybe one of those pieces that you share with your students out there and say, look, just watch this, because the amount of times I've had someone from Trading Academy call me and say, hey, could you talk to this person real quick? This is what happened to their account. Is it okay? And 9 out of 10 times I'm going, yeah, you got scammed. You got scammed. Sorry. I mean, I'd love to tell them a different answer, but the reality is it's a scam. And the most common scam we're going to get to here in just a second. It's a big one, and it's probably the most prolific out there. Big Eb says, I read that 5.6 billion crypto stolen in scams. It is 63,000 people scammed, and the average loss was 89,000. I know. Yeah, they said 89,000 or 69,000 right here. It says of the more than 69,000 reports, most of it is investment fraud. I mean, that's $4 billion of investment fraud. Just incredible to me. And again, I'm going to walk through some of the more prevalent scams here in just a second. So this is one that I actually feel like is on the decline, because I have reported it over 100 times on YouTube. I watch a lot of YouTube videos. I love YouTube and learning from all sorts of different people. However, when you enter the crypto world, there are names like Dan Held, Vitalik Buterin, Charles Hoskinson, Charlie Lee, the list goes on and on. Roger Ver, you've got Andreas Antonopoulos, you've got, yeah, I mean, the list just goes on and on and on. And really what they do is they try to get you to believe that this celebrity is promoting this crypto. And here's what some of them look like. So on you, this is Twitter. And you can see here it says Vitalik.eth, which is actually his real address. To celebrate the merge, the Ethereum Foundation is giving away 100,000 ETH. First come, first serve. You can only participate once. Basically, you send crypto to this address right here, to this wallet link they gave you, and they'll give you free crypto. Notice it says Vitalik.eth, but it's actually Griesbach is the name of this account. This is a fake account. Vitalik, who started Ethereum, Charles Hoskinson, who started Cardano and Ethereum, have all said, I'm never giving anything away. They're not going to give you all this free crypto. Neither is Mark Cuban. Neither is Mr. Wonderful. They're never going to give you stuff for free. So stop believing that one. This is the other one. This is the one I reported all the time on YouTube. So if you see here, it says Cardano event 2021. There were 5,100 people watching this live as it went on. And what they do is they take a video of someone prominent. This is Charles Hoskinson. And they play that video, which Charles doesn't know. Someone just copied his video and put it inside of a box. And then they made it look like he tweeted this out. It says, to celebrate Cardano smart contract and to simply encourage more people to use crypto, we're doing a massive ADA giveaway. If you click on this, here's your rates of return. So if you sent in, 1,500 Cardano, you'd get 4,500 back. Okay, they're going to give you a 200% rate of return for free for nothing instantly. Ridiculous. You couldn't be any dumber to believe this stuff, but people were throwing money at Charles Hoskinson. They thought this was actually really him doing this. So he's been called a fraud, a scammer. He's like, dude, I've never given away crypto. I never will. So that is a common one called the impersonation scam. Just know they're not going to be giving that stuff away for free. Okay, now the better stuff. This is kind of going into what Blue Diesel was talking about, which is phishing scams, right? So here's an example of a phishing scam, or someone sitting at a computer. They're sending you emails. Typically, it comes via email when you get these phishing scams. And I copied this one right here. This is to me, right? This is my junk mail account, newdynasty@yahoo.com. And you'll see here it says starting Wednesday, blah, blah, blah. All devices with access to your Coinbase account have been restricted. No transactions can occur. Your account is missing some info, blah, blah. And it looks legit, right? Continue step verification simply by clicking here. Now, right away, you've got to know that this is a scam because there's typos in it. You see right here it says, once they've got the ER backwards. Basically what you're going to get when you click this link, it's taking you to a verification page that they've set up to mirror and look exactly like Coinbase. And once you click on that link, they'll be like, oh, well, yeah, this is why you got blocked. There's a problem with your computer. So what you need to do is you need to update something. And they'll say, hey, I can update this for you. So just if you want, I can take care of it. And they're really nice. I've listened to recordings of scammers doing this. And they say, oh, yeah, we're happy to help you. You know, if you want us to take care of it right now, we can. If not, it could take 2 weeks or so through the normal channels, but I can do it live. And they say, oh, okay. So you click this link. A window pops up and says, do you want to install this software? As soon as you click that software, people's screens disappear and go blank. Everything goes away, and they are sweeping every piece of personal information off your computer and most likely stealing all of your crypto. And they're going to ask you for personal information along the way. Never click anything. So how do you know? If you look at this one, you know, it looks okay. It's not the greatest. I've seen better scammers. But in the upper left-hand corner, which I will zoom in on for you right now, it says Coinbase e-paycapita.com. This would never come from a paycapita.com. It would be a Coinbase account. Even that, I wouldn't trust it. So if any of you are ever to receive this letter, and by the way, if I do a search on my junk mail account right now, I could probably pull up a dozen from Coinbase, fake Coinbase accounts. And they all threaten to freeze my account's been halted, yada, yada, yada. All of them are coming from a different address. If this ever happens to you, never click a link. Please, never click a link. Just go to Coinbase.com, log into your account like you normally would, and if there is an issue, you'd see it under your alerts tab in your account. It'd be right there letting you know that there's a problem with your account. Never believe this stuff, guys. I got to the point now where I wanted to run a filter to take anything from Coinbase and put it in a spam filter, but I'm too worried I might actually miss a real email from Coinbase. Let's see. Oliver says, hey, Merlin, I got scammed once with this. I think said a couple of shows ago that the rep from FBI contacted me by mail and call. So I'm confused. I think said a couple of shows ago that a rep from FBI contacted me by email and call. So you can actually call FBI. I believe it's called 1-800-FBI. Oh, man, I actually helped my friend out. It's FBI Helps. I think it's FBI Helps is the number you would call to actually talk to the FBI. It's like 1-800-FBI Helps if you want to report this stuff. Sorry to hear you got scammed, Oliver. Again, next time, guard up. Never click a link. Never do it. Even like, it's not just crypto. This could happen from your bank. I get scam emails all the time, and I check the email it came from. Don't recognize it, just delete. Right, Lori? And even there, I'm willing to bet you that in a year or two, they will find a way to replace the actual sender email with the real one, with the real Coinbase one. Which is why even if I get it from Coinbase, I would simply go directly to Coinbase's website. Never click any link whatsoever. If you're ever curious, whether it's your bank or a crypto exchange, go directly to the source. The FBI will just show up to your house, the machine. No, Margaret, that's the IRS. It takes just a minute or so to go directly to the actual website and verify. Right, but Big Eb, it preys off your fear. Because if I saw this email, I'd be like, oh, crap. Uh-oh, what happened? Someone hacked my email account. And I just click this. Oh, I'll click that verification button. Not even thinking, because I want to fix this problem. That's how they do it. They know our insecurities and our fear that our crypto could be stolen. But you're right, Big Eb. It takes a minute max to go to Coinbase. Here, I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to go right here. And I'm just going to go to Coinbase. All right, I'm already in my Coinbase account. And you see over here at the top right, it said there's all these little bells. I got 46 messages. Maybe my account did get hacked. So I click on this, and it's just trading insights, trading insights. There's nothing here that's account problems. Price alert, price alert, price alert, right? So I can scroll through all of these. It's just trading insights and, account activity. So I had some Bitcoin waiting, so I moved Bitcoin. I do this in the class. I'll trade live and move money around. But, all of that's legit. We're fine. We're good. No worries. And that took me under 60 seconds. There you go. Every fall they do this. I get Social Security scams. Oh, yeah. Social Security stuff. Man, and like I say, this is a crypto-specific topic, but this is for everything that you do. If Social Security Administration says, hey, your account's been frozen, click here. What about the phone calls? I love it when I get a phone call from the IRS, and it has the thickest Indian accent ever. And it's like, hello, this is Kevin with the IRS. I'm here to let you know that you have a problem with your account and it will be frozen if you do not give me all the information that I'd like from you. Would you like to proceed? It's like, Kevin, go away. Click, hang up. It happens all the time. It's mind-boggling. Look, if you get a phone call and it says IRS or anything like that, just hang up. Just click. Go to the IRS's website and log in. Just insane. Lawrence, I got an FBI phone call once, and they told me my medical license was being used to move drugs. Wow. Well, maybe someone's using your old one. That sounds like a plausible, legitimate thing, but I mean, you're like, doesn't bother me. I'm out. Okay. Sorry, I'm going to keep on moving here. I got to get to the good stuff. The good stuff is coming, I promise. This is it. This is the number one scam out there. Pig butchering scam, right? I've walked you through this one and how it works before. I wish I had more time to prepare graphics for you today, because a pig butchering scam is very simple. It takes a little while for them to get the hooks into you, but once those hooks are in, it's hard to get them out. So let me show you what this looks like. Step number one of a pig butchering scam is someone builds a relationship with you. A relationship is built. It's for slow people. No, it's for anyone who wants to know about crypto, Ben. Typically, a relationship is built, and what's happening with the pig butchering scams, if you read the email from the article from the FBI, they talk a lot about relationship building scams. So someone will come to you on a dating app. The people I've talked to, it's been through Instagram, it's been through LinkedIn, it's been through Facebook, it's been through Twitter, where someone starts to follow you, then they DM you, and they start talking to you about crypto. Oh, I saw you had a post on crypto. You like this one? Hey, I'm a big fan too. What do you think about that? And then they build this relationship with you. Once they do that, after a little while, and you're comfortable with them, you talk to them regularly, they start pulling this whole pitch of, hey, I'm trading XYZ crypto. I'll just say Bitcoin. I'm trading Bitcoin with this guy. He's a PhD scientist from MIT, and or WhatsApp, the contact. WhatsApp's the worst. I won't do anything with WhatsApp ever, right? There's only 3 things I do. I call my cousin in Germany, I call my niece in Germany, and I talk to my buddy in Italy. It's the only 3 things I use WhatsApp for. Other than that, it's all scams in my opinion. So they give you this investment opportunity, and I've mentioned this before. They'll say things like, oh, I'm making 30% a week with this crypto strategy. And you're like, yeah, okay, too good to be true. And then they start showing you verification. They come out and like, no, look, here's proof. Look at these statements. I'm making 30% per week. And you look at it and you go, wow, I mean, it really does look like you're making 30% per week. And you go through this dance of trust, right? Oh, I don't want to do that. It sounds just too risky. And they go, just try it with like $1,000 and see. You're going to be blown away. So they convince you. You deposit $1,000 worth of Ethereum. That's your next step. And you're like, okay, I'm now starting this process. I'm going down that route of riches. And sure enough, after 1 week, your account's up 30%. 30% in a week is like, oh, wow, this is legit. But you still don't trust it, right? You don't trust it because you haven't taken any money out. So what they do is they let you take money out. You withdraw your gains. So you went from $1,000 to $1,300, right? You got a 30% gain in a week. So you now all of a sudden that hook is in, and you believe that this is the real deal. So now you send over 50 grand or 100,000. I mentioned a story about a guy who sent over $1 million to this because he believed that he was going to make, 30% per week, 30% per month, whatever. It's still ridiculous, unsustainable gains. So he withdraws that money, is shook, and then deposits a lot more money, like significant amount more money. And your account achieves massive gains. Let's say he deposits 100,000. Now all of a sudden it's 130 grand in 1 week. You're like, oh my goodness, I'm going to pay for all my college kids in 2 weeks. Then what happens? You go to try to take that money out, and everything is gone. So the way it works is when you deposit your money, there's no investment happening whatsoever. When you deposit that $1,000, that money just disappeared, went into someone's account. What they do is they issue you fake trade statements. They make them look legit. It looks like here's your entry, stop loss, price target, whatever they want to put on there. I could make you the most authentic looking fake trade sheets you have ever seen. Way better than some of the ones I've seen, by the way. And on those statements, it looks like you're up 30%. If you think about it, when you log into your bank or you log into your trading account, and let's say you bought some Apple and you're up 50% on your Apple, the account shows that, right? Well, technically, those Apple shares aren't there. They're at a company called the DTCC, which I think is in Washington. I'm not sure where it's located, but they hold all those shares. You have an IOU. So these guys pretty much just print on that screen where you log in and see your account balance. Oh yeah, sure. How much did he put in? He put in $1 million? Yeah, just give him 30% for this week. We'll give him 50% next week and make him feel real happy. The other side of this scam is, so now I've deposited, let's say I deposit 100 grand. And I get my 30% gains. So now I'm up to $130,000 in my account. What they'll do is they'll go, oh, listen, you want to withdraw the $130,000? Okay, well, we will let you do that, but unfortunately, we have to be sure to cover the taxes. I mentioned this the other day. So here is, you got $130,000, and they go, oh, well, the tax on that's going to be 30% because it's in your top tax bracket. You need to send in $39,000, and then we'll release the funds. Which almost sounds legit, but there's no reason any exchange should be withholding your taxes for you. So what happens? You send that $39,000, and now you've lost your 100 grand plus that $39,000. You're out $139,000 out of pocket. This is the pig butchering scam. It is the most prolific scam in crypto and in markets in general, I think, right now. To me, that is the craziest one. And watching the sheer numbers, and Big Eb, you've watched this one quite a bit as well, the sheer amount of money that has been wiped from people's accounts. $5.6 billion is not a drop in the bucket, folks. That's not my statistic. That's from the FBI about scams being perpetrated in the U.S. alone. That, by the way, that is just the United States. That is not in the world. That is only the United States. So you add in Europe, you add in all kinds of other countries, man, you've got a lot of losses there. So in a quick 30 minutes, that was kind of the main scams that exist in crypto. There may be some other ones that I've missed, but what are some things you can do to avoid these scams? It's simple. Number one, helpful tips to avoid a scam. Number one, never click on any link. I don't care who it came from. If I sent you a link that wasn't requested, all right? So, some of you I do stay in communication with via email. I have sent emails back and forth. Mike LaRusso here, who won his bet against the 49ers in the Super Bowl, yeah, we've emailed back and forth. But those are emails that were requested. We were in a conversation. If I randomly send you an email like, hey guys, check this out. This is going to make you a ton of money real quick. It's really amazing. Don't click it. It's going to be a scam, right? Totally free. They do bank on your greed. And it's such an easy thing to do because everyone's greedy. As calm and collected as I am with regards to money, I certainly would argue that there come moments where I'm very greedy. And I will be greedy, but I got to make sure I know all the risks when I get involved in that situation. So never click on any link. As Big Eb says, and I go directly to the source. If your bank says your account's overdrawn and you got a problem, don't click the link. Go to your bank's website or use the app on your phone. Next, helpful tip to avoid a scam. Never download an app. Now, when I say download an app, I mean an app that someone is communicating with online telling you, oh, I need you to download this app. That is the kiss of death. You'll lose everything. Now, on a side note here, if you're going out to something like the Apple Store or the Google Store and you're trying to download the Coinbase app or MetaMask or Trust Wallet, Atomic, whatever wallet you're trying to get, I mentioned this before, never click on a sponsored ad or a sponsored app. Always go down to the original one, like the Coinbase app or the MetaMask. Don't go to a sponsored, because I have seen in the past where a fake MetaMask wallet will be created. Identical, perfect fake. And they put it up there and they pay to make it the #1 search thing. So automatically someone logs in and goes, oh, there it is, MetaMask. They click it. Everything that they sent there goes right through the back door of that application into someone else's wallet, and you'll never see it again. So be careful there. What's my next one? Never let anyone take control of your computer. Now, I say this with a grain of salt. I have a guy I work with, Jeremy Gregg, who has taken control of my computer many times. But he's also the IT guy for the company I work for. So, Jeremy, you can have access to it. I trust Jeremy. But no way am I going to let Kevin from India access my computer to help, fix something or install it. Where the victims to this one lie are those of you who are 60. Those of you who are over 60 tend to be the biggest victims for this type of scam, where it's like, oh, I can fix it right now for you, Mr. Rothfeld. If you want me to, you just click this link right here and I can fix it for you. It's in your settings. I can do that. I just want to share your screen so I can see what you're looking at and I can fix it. I mean, it sounds so nice and helpful. It's a scam. Stay away from it. Number 4, always verify at the source. Again, this is what we were talking about, which is go to the site, go to the individual or the business directly and make sure you click there, right? Go directly to the source. And then the final one on this list is pretty simple, and that is act as if everything is a scam. Statistically, if you look at the crypto space, most of it's scams. Most of it is a scam. So in that sense, I give Elizabeth Warren a little shout out and say, yep, you're right. Most of crypto is a scam. However, there is a good amount of projects that have significant prospects for the future, great, financial market changing types of ideas that I would like to be a part of to capitalize on. But it really boils down about research. Think everything's a scam. Do your research. Never trust anybody. And hopefully you'll be able to avoid a lot of these scams that are perpetrated by these scammers, man. It just drives me nuts. It drives me nuts that there's just so many bad people in this planet, right? So that is my run through of unmasking crypto scams, how to spot them and how to avoid them. I just had one night to do that, so I apologize if it wasn't more robust. I know some of you probably wanted something that was a little bit deeper dive with live examples, but did my best to get there, at least open your eyes a little bit to what some of those scams are. Lori said I'm old and technically challenged. Well, just Lori, you can always ask us. We're here to help you, right? If someone's telling you got to click this or do this, just always say no. Always say no if someone's trying to come in through your computer or click a link or, oh, I can fix that for you. Talk to someone you know. Let's see. Older folks tend to be less tech savvy, and older is a moving target these days. That's true. 100%. So if you guys have any more questions on scams, let me know. Just go ahead and type them on in. I will gladly answer them. I went through this rather quickly. I was trying to, in my top of my head, to just go, okay, I made a list last night. What are these different scams? And then kind of ran through them step by step to hopefully make you more aware of this. Because I'd hate to see you lose money. And I'd hate to see you get caught by some unscrupulous jerk who is taking advantage of your excitement about something that could be revolutionary, but really just taking your money off the back end. So hopefully that protects you. All right, that said, let's dive into our markets and if you guys can always ask me more. I did sell some puts today. I sold a bunch of puts on USO. A little wild, little aggressive there. So let's go bring up USO here to start, because obviously energy's been just getting clobbered on it today. So I sold a bunch of the 64 puts expiring on the 20th. I'm going to move this goalpost here to the 20th. So the rate of return was phenomenal. The $64 strikes today, if you did a monthly rate of return, would have given me about 3.9% rate of return for 1 month. Not bad. Not bad. And so I sold a bunch of those today. We'll see how that all transpires. Hopefully it'll be okay. Let's see. What else do we want to get into? I guess we'll start from the bottom and work our way to the top and just kind of do our top 10 here and then wrap up. Crude oil was obviously your biggest decliner there. And there is, a lot of uncertainty with what's going on with crude oil. Maybe tomorrow I'll dive deeper into that. But you have all kinds of OPEC issues and supply chain disruption issues and civil unrest. But price right now still in that free fall. We're down 4.31% today. I mentioned this on the show last week. Let me bring, was it yesterday or last week? We talk about it. If it gets below this 63, 64, or sorry, we talked about if it broke this descending triangle mark, where might it go to? And we've broken that. Right? We had a pretty big slide today. That would have given us a price target down somewhere around 42, which some of you said, no way. There's no way it's going there. And I agree with you. It's probably not going to go down to 42. But that next line at 63, 64, right around 63 bucks is probably your next stop, which is why I sold the $64 puts today on USO, which is pretty similar to this one. So not looking so good. I am catching a falling knife with that 64, but I've given myself, a week and a half to let that happen. We'll see. I might be crazy. I don't think we're going to get a catastrophic fall from here, but the trend I do think is going to continue down. So I'll be fine if it closes somewhere around 64 bucks on USO, but crude oil down 4.31% today. Your 10-year was a nice big red candle as well today. We talk about that trend is your friend to the bend at the end. I guess until I get that beer with you, Big Ab, I got to leave this on the screen. I guess I just keep moving it forward. There we go. Let's put that line right there for you. Right now, it's on uncharted territory, right? There is some small demand zone right around 3.6%, which is we're really close to it. But that trend, I don't see any reason that thing's going to change anytime soon, right? That was my main reason back here why I thought we were going higher. That trend has now changed right there, and boom, we've been selling off ever since. So you got to stay short on this one. Got to stay short on this one. Moving up the list, Russell 2000, which I almost sold some puts on today. I was going to try to sell these down here at this demand zone that goes back to August 7th and 8th. I did not. You have actually a hammer formation finishing at the end of the day today. Russell was down 0.06%, so pretty much unchanged at 2101. Let's get it done, Big Eb. I'm going to have to meet middle ground, or I'll make it down there, I guess. Here's your dollar index. Again, nothing to speak of. I drew that yellow box with the understanding of we're staying neutral until it gets out of that one way or another. Because you can make the argument that it's still in a downtrend, or you can also make the argument that a new uptrend may be forming because of these kind of higher lows and double bottom. Gold, 0.41% move up. Nothing to speak of here. Maybe I should put a yellow box on this bad boy too, just because it's been traversing sideways for the better part of 2 weeks now. How we draw this box is going to be a little tricky. I'm going to go to the tails for now. We'll see. Sometimes I'll modify it to the body if I get more contact, but right now you're middle of the range on gold, so no big deal. 25.43 is where we're at with gold as we speak. Podium time? Oh yeah. S&P 500. Again, where's it going? This just looks like it's chopping back and forth. It's making a lower high but a higher low. It's compressing. We could, if we wanted to, draw trend lines like this. Let me just put them across here just for entertainment purposes. So we'll do that one there, and we'll do this one here. All right, so you kind of have this triangle forming, and again, this is not a great representation, but the point is, price feels like it's compressing. Not that it's giving us any sense of direction, but it's compressing right now and not looking great, not making new lows, but I prefer something that has a nice strong trend to it. It makes it easier for me to trade. Second place, NASDAQ. Still wanting this one to go up just a little bit. As you guys know, I sold a bunch of puts on the Qs. I sold a bunch of puts on XLK and Nvidia and US Steel and Rivian. I got a bunch of puts out there right now in the market, all expiring on the 20th. So should be. I think it's gonna be okay, but we never know. Anything can happen. Yep, CPI and PPI this week. You are correct. I'll talk about that one on tomorrow's show. Why not contact Coinbase and tell them that you teach a crypto class, a technical class? Yeah, I don't know. I know that they do some teaching for themselves. They probably don't want to tie themselves to a company, so maybe it's one of those things where you end up building content for Coinbase, but I don't get sponsored. My audience is too small. If I had a couple 100,000 people audience, they certainly would be more interested in sponsoring it, which is maybe someday. I like your idea, Margaret, but not yet. And then finally, Bitcoin, which had great numbers today, up 1.37%, but all in all, this channel has not changed. It's still making lower lows and lower highs. So again, I still am targeting late this month to early October is where I think that the technical bottom should be based off of time and historical price action. But right now, that's where we stand with our top 8 markets for today. All right, let me see what else I got here. With September being the weakest month of the year, why are you looking at selling puts? So, great question, Les. I love it. I mentioned a couple days ago, a week or so ago, that this historical notion that September is the worst month is something that people keep repeating more and more and more and more and more. And I have this feeling like everybody believes September is now going to crash. Now, if everyone believes September is going to crash, then that means, to me, September is going to rally. So I'm going counter trend here. And mind you, even if September does go down, September isn't usually a crash. Historically, it's the only negative month. But when it's say negative, it's like negative 0.2 or negative 0.4%. So it's not like a catastrophic sell-off. Has it had some big sell-off years? Sure. So I'm looking at this as, if the markets do rally and I don't get exercised, I'll collect a whole bunch of premium. Great. If the markets do fall, then I'm going to be owning things that I wanted to own anyway at cheaper prices, like Nvidia, like Rivian, like US Steel, right? Those are companies I'm fine. I get some of the indexes like XLK and QQQs, which, you know, that's a little bit more dangerous because that's broader market, but it's okay. I'm fine with that. Oliver, yes, I am a contrarian in that sense, just because I feel like everyone and their mothers keeps calling me and telling me September's a negative month. And I'm like, yeah, I've known this for a long time, but now everybody else is saying it. Makes me feel like September's going to be a bullish month. So I'm hanging my hat on a bullish month. I hate to say it. Yeah, that's why. That's why, Les. Predominantly because the things I'm selling puts on have been really beaten down. You know, by the way, the other one we talked about yesterday that I would like to buy or sell some puts on is Google. You know, Google was down, or actually was up just a little bit today. I almost pulled the trigger today on Google. I may do that one if I get another little down day. That 143 mark looks pretty good, but some weakness here. I would actually be fine selling puts on Google because I'd like to own it long term. Fine. I'd rather not own it at 192, but if I can buy it at 142, great. I'll take a 50% discount off the top. Love it. Blue Seal says, I want to use iTrust Capital for crypto IRA, but I'm not sure. How do I use it? How do I know it isn't a scam? So I know a bunch of people who use iTrust Capital. They talked about the fees being relatively high, but no one I know has actually taken money out of iTrust Capital. Here's what I would suggest, Blue Diesel, and again, I am not a financial advisor, but if it was my money, I wouldn't use iTrust Capital. I would go to an E-Trade or an Ameritrade or a Schwab or a Fidelity, and I'd open an IRA there, and then I would just buy IBIT. I'd buy the spot Bitcoin ETF. That's how I would play it. I don't need to buy actual Bitcoin. I can buy IBIT in that, and then I'm basically tracking the price of Bitcoin with very low fees. I think 0.29 or 0.25 is what IBIT's fee structure is. That's how I would do it. I would not go with some name. I mean, I've heard of iTrust Capital. I don't know if I trust them, but I do have two friends that use them. But again, they haven't pulled any money out, so I don't know. They mentioned that the fees are a little bit high as well. Let's see what else I got. Chad says, is slippage worse due to lower liquidity? Has there been bad slippage with the stop order? I want to keep my private keys instead of trading on exchanges. So, yes, slippage is, I can't say the word always, but I want to say slippage is always worse when you have low liquidity, right? So one of the things we look at in the crypto class is if you're buying different cryptos, identify which exchange has the best liquidity for your needs. If you're buying 100 coins, you know, of Ripple, who cares? If you're buying 100 Bitcoin, you better have liquidity because that's not readily available. As far as private keys, I think you have two different questions there. Has there been bad slippage with stop orders? Yes, there has been, but it really depends on the exchange you use, Chad. I used a company called KuCoin. I think it's out of Singapore. I got the wheel too. Not sure why that's happening. Let me just go out and see what I got here. No, everything looks fine. Huh. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. Okay. There we go. I'm back now. I don't know what that was all about. It's funny because I have a really cool little like customization bar on my screen that will tell me exactly where there's problems. I haven't dropped one frame rate. My CPU's at 1.1%, and I'm doing it 3,500 kbps, so no drop frames. That was weird. Yeah, a little buffering never hurt anybody. Thanks, Mr. C. Didn't. Yeah, it was weird. That's it, Tofi. They didn't like me talking about KuCoin. Yeah. You know, I will just tell everybody here who's thinking about crypto more actively, if you are thinking about crypto and you want to be very active, international exchanges are probably better for you because you get better tools and you get margin. However, you're dealing with an international exchange that's got no oversight, no regulation, no controls, no accountability. That's scary. I personally, I'm done. I'm not doing anything international again with anything. So all my money is off of international exchanges. I only deal with U.S. exchanges. If I was Canadian, I would only deal with Canadian exchanges, right? That to me is that's how I would do it. I would stay whatever exchanges are in my country because then my government will go after them. With KuCoin, no one's going to go after them from the U.S. That's on you, dummy. And now you have to use a VPN to access a lot of it. So yeah. Thanks, guys. I saw it froze. I don't know why it happened. I'm talking too much info. All right. Well, I think that's gonna force me to wrap it up. So if you guys have something you want me to discuss for tomorrow's show, always happy to do it. Again, today was driven by that FBI data release of $5.6 billion lost last year to scammers. I hope that this was informative on some fronts and helped, especially some of you who were new to crypto. You can always email me with other questions. It's tradermerlin@gmail.com, or show topics, ideas, things you want to discuss. I'd be happy to get to them. So thank you guys so much. Hope you... Oh, no, we didn't do an economic calendar. I can't say thank you yet. Here's your economic calendar because we do have some stuff to talk about for tomorrow. And here it is. CPI numbers coming out tomorrow. The expectations are that CPI is going to stay at 0.2%. Yet the year over year is going to drop from 2.9 to 2.5. This is really good. This will be really good. All right? If we get 2.5% inflation number on Wednesday, this is funny. It's going to be a double-edged sword because at face value, it's like, yes, inflation's under control. But now the question is, does this open the door to a 50 basis point cut for the Fed? I still am sticking by 25. I think it's the prudent thing to do. So there we go. But we shall see. That's going to be the big one. That's going to be before market opens, so the volatility will be definitely price open. You also have crude oil inventories, which are expected to increase significantly from negative 6.9 million to 0.9. And then other than that, not too much else to speak of. And we'll talk about Thursday's activity, obviously, on tomorrow's show. So thank you guys so much. Hope you enjoyed and learned something along the way. Again, protect yourself. If you are getting involved with crypto, ask me questions. Oh, I don't know why it just says not getting enough video. So I'm going to do a speed test here real quick because it froze on you again. I'm going to run a speed test. I think that's got to be it. So if you are getting involved in crypto, before I get cut out again, if you've got questions, ask me. Just email me. Take your time. Don't rush. You can always email me and say, hey, what do you think about this, that, the other thing? Again, I can't give you financial advice, but I can at least give you an idea of this might be a scam or too good to be true. So happy to help you guys. Thank you so much. Have a fantastic remainder of your day. Glad you guys all enjoyed it. I'm going to get out of here before this system crashes again, and hopefully won't be any problems the remainder of the week. I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care.